I'm Gary Schotten, and I'm glad to be with you again today. And I'm here with my family, and today's topic is family. And I'm just going to speak to you from the heart, and I'm going to ask my family, some of them to speak out as they choose. And what I've observed in life is that certain occupations, certain career paths, certain jobs are more stressful on the family than other jobs. I mean, there's just the reality to that. And I will mention up front, as you're entering into the concept of owning a business and running your business, that owning a business is probably one of those occupations that is potentially more stressful on the family. It pulls on the family in different ways. And so I'm here with part of my family, my daughter to the far right, her husband and their 3 children, and of course my wife here to the right of 43 years we've been married. And so I will not give any kind of impression that life has been perfect working and living with Gary Schotten. I will tell you there's bumps in the road, there's been bumps in the road, but we made conscious efforts to make sure that our business did not consistently rise to a higher priority than our family. There are certain times that I had to go do things just out of necessity, but we tried to limit those or choose those. And again, we're here sitting as part of my family. I have 2 grown boys. They are married, and they each have 2 children, and that makes up my combined family. Now, I will mention that in my reading in books and information that I did read a book way back 20 years ago that was very inspiring to me. So the second version of that book came out, an additional concept, and I was in about the 3rd chapter, and this writer made a statement that I do not agree with. They were talking to young career people, and this writer wrote that at some point in your career path, you may have to choose between following your career or honoring your family. And this author actually put in writing that his suggestion was to forget your family, follow your career path, because you can always get another spouse and family. I totally disagree. I put the book down and did not finish the rest of the book based on that comment. Well, there's things that my wife and I have had challenges over. We won't go into depth. Things like, hey, we work side by side, haven't we? We worked side by side for 40-some years, most of those 40-some years working in a business. We had to stop or try to stop our home life and make sure it ended, because when we're home, and when we're at work. Cindy, would you like to just share at least one nugget of truth?
Okay. Most people say, I don't want to be a boss or own my business because I don't want to solve all the problems that comes with that. But I have to say, you have to keep your priorities and have to keep those in order. God, which we have honored God, and our family comes second, not church and others and your work. That has to come 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So you have to keep those priorities in order for your family to be in total agreement and work with you. Some children do not want to follow your business, and a lot of parents have that expectation that their children will inherit their business, but that's not always true, and that does not always happen.
Thank you, Cindy, and I sure do appreciate 43 years of marriage with you. Most of them happy. When it wasn't happy, it was usually my fault. Shauna, will you have any comments to make?
Yeah, I mean, I own my own business. It's not my parents' business or anything. I started a consulting business in my late 20s, so I was about 27, single. And so I think, it's important to know there's seasons of business, so I'm at the beginning, they're 40 years into business. So for me, when I was single, I worked a lot, and it was okay to do that. I had nobody to report to. I worked late nights, early mornings, traveled a lot. Now I'm in my almost 40, early 40s, late 30s now, with a family, and I am still working right now at the moment more than I want to. And I've had to deal with seasons of my business, and I'm at the point actually where I've grown my business 12 years into it, and I'm having to say no. Actually, declining business, declining work, solely because my family is more important than working nonstop. And I think with any business, you have to go through some seasons, okay, and understand as a husband and wife, there are times you're going to work a lot, but that it's not forever, that there isn't that grind that's never ending. And so we're at the point, you know, me and my husband, we've made some decisions to slim down my work to where I'm now able to be with my family more and more as they're growing, because they won't be in my house forever, you know. And so the season that I'm in is little kids, little family, and I've got to make those decisions to say no to business, meaning no to my growing company, or no to, you know, future projects maybe that might be on the line, solely because it's my decision to be with my family while they're young. I may choose 20 years from now that to be different, because there's seasons. I think all of our families and our life and business goes through seasons also. So that's what I want to share.
Thank you very much. My family is very important to me. Once again, I'll say it again, I am no way a perfect father, a perfect boss, but these videos are intended to just remind you of a key point. And this key point is, do not let your family become secondary. Well, we wrap it up with that. Thank you.